How's it going today, folks? Rob from the Maker Ridge Homestead Tree Farm here with another update. Been a little while since I've done one, so figured it's time to do another update. Let's take a look at what's going on. Been working at automating the irrigation a bit more. Laid out some PVC pipe here and some sprinkler heads will be going on the top of these pipes here next day or two once they show up. You have to use a special butterfly sprinkler that it's not available locally anymore for whatever reason. I have to use this because it's one of the few sprinklers that works with low pressure and has a big opening on it to let some bigger contaminants through or waters off the irrigation canal, so we don't get, you know, the clean city water that other nurseries get. So we have to deal with having a few particulates in it. We have a coast filter up at the top of the farm that you know, you can't have a fine filter everywhere because it just clogs up too quick. So this is going to greatly help save a bunch of time for us watering. Just turn on one valve and the whole part of the tree field should get watered, if it works as theory should anyway. We'll test it out once the sprinklers arrive though and see how it goes. Might need a second feed to power everything at once, but I think it should work out pretty good. The stresses of heat and the drought this year are showing on a bunch of our trees here this year. See poplars here, a few of them are yellowing leaves. The Virginia creeper down there, they're already in fall colours. It's just been so hot and dry that things are going into fall mode early here. The high bush cranberry over here is the same thing. A few leaves on the paper birch are yellowing as well. The choke cherries, same thing, a few leaves going to fall colours. The Siberian crab apples here, yellowing leaves. The beaked hazelnut, same thing, yellowing leaves on it. Been a tough year, all this heat. It's been really hot this year. We've had, I don't know, 10 or 11 heat warnings this year, and it's just seemed to be unending heat. But finally got a cool weekend here, so I've been able to get out and do some good work. I was able to get the PVC put together here for the irrigation. Definitely seen the stress in the willows more this year, because of course they love their water and drying out a bit quick. Really need to get a few of them upsized too, but with the heat it's hard to get things upsized because of course our pattern shed is south facing in full sun, so it gets pretty hot in there in the heat here. You can kind of see the PVC setup here, main feed down the back there with T's coming off a valve for each sprinkler so we can shut off ones that were not in use, you know. So like this one here, if we cleared out the last few things in this little section, we could turn the sprinkler off if we needed to, but we'll probably end up filling it with other things. On the other side here, you can see some of the same stuff, you know, the northern bush honeysuckles, the fall colours, red Aussie dogwood for some fall colours. Had a couple of things dry out over here through watering oops daisies. A couple of dogwoods, the variegated dogwoods here are in rough shape because they dried out a couple of times. Just the leaves on them are so dense that the water wasn't penetrating with how we were watering with the sprinklers. Same with the lilacs here, the Velosa. But most things are doing pretty good, and you know, the stuff that dried out, it'll bounce back next year. Aim and maples, a bunch of fall colours showing there too. Just yeah, all this heat and drought is causing some fall colours, and the heat's also caused us to be behind in our weeding and stuff. You can see probably quite a few weeds on this side. I haven't had a chance to even get to this side for weeding. At this point it's hardly worth getting to it because it's the end of the season here, so we got to focus on our end of season projects. But the stuff we have done, like over here, looks pretty good. Trying to also reorganize how we lay out our plants here, so it's a little more logical. So it's kind of all in progress, but not sure how much more organising and weeding we'll get done since it is coming up to the end of the season. Nice to see a few flowers still though on the potentilla there. Our new seedlings this year are doing well. Just a quick look at them here. Yeah, there's a few yellowing leaves and red leaves from the heat and drought, but these guys aren't affected too much by the drought. It's more the heat that's the issue, because of course we water pretty heavily in here. But yeah, overall we're real pleased with the seedlings and how they've done. So they're all looking good. You know, a couple didn't make it from the start, but you know, that's pretty typical. But yeah, they're looking good overall, and looking forward to be able to sell a few of these next year. Our main trunk line on the middle here of the farm is got a few leaks in it. They've gotten really bad in the last couple of weeks here, so gonna have to look at replacing this line. It's gonna be not an easy thing, quite expensive, but something we've got to look at, because wasting water like this isn't a good thing. I mean, it's not exactly wasted, it goes into the ground and keeps stuff watered here, but it's not something we want to see when it's water shortage in the irrigation district. See another leak over there. This hub is fed by two, I think they're 3-inch fitting fire hoses. There's 2 of them, so quite a lot of volume there. I don't think we need necessarily quite that much, but that's what's there anyway. So have to work with that, get that replaced. But not sure quite how we're going to do that yet, with sales being as poor as they are this year. There's not a lot of money in the budget. Haven't gotten around to clearing out any more of the new growing area here. That might be a fall and or winter project. We'll see here. See what the weather brings. If it stays cool, we'll be able to get to some of this stuff. If it heats up again, well, won't be able to do much. Down on the spaded tree field now. Been doing a little maintenance down here, trying to keep the weeds down and grass down a lot better than before. Normally we've just been doing the aisles, but this year we've had the weed whacker out to try and do around a few of the trees too. My biggest trouble is these guys here, the old spaded tree holes. I can't really drive over those with the lawnmower, so often we had big areas getting left for weeds and grass because you know, we couldn't run over it with the lawnmower. But using the weed whacker this year certainly helped. It's been tough doing it in the heat, but you know, certainly looks a lot better because of it. Some of these weeds are starting to regrow, of course, which doesn't help now, but you know, a few holes here that we couldn't mow around. And these trees here are spaded and basketed ages ago, so unfortunately they're going to have to eventually come under the axe, because you can't really re-spade them once they're already dug. And a few of them are suffering from girdling issues. When you look at this one here, it's all tied up around the trunk there. You can kind of see the trunk's bulging out a little bit over the strings, so that's a damaged tree at this point. But yeah, that's some of the issues we're dealing with. Old spaded holes and trees that are tied and just left. There's another one over here. You can see that one's really badly girdled, so that one won't last more than another year or two. Let's take a look at that. So what happens when you don't cut the strings after it's been tied up. So yeah, that guy's probably going to be toast next year. Just looking at the colour of the needles, you can tell they're pretty stressed already as it is. But yeah, kind of sucks, but you know, that's what happened to the previous owner. Kind of left them for us to deal with, and here we are trying to deal with them, I guess. Yeah, there's a bunch of holes around here that we have to fill in, and of course with sales being as bad as they are this year, we can't exactly afford to buy the dirt in to fill them, so not quite sure what we're going to do with that yet, but Regardless, it's looking a lot better down here. That's the main thing. Quite happy with how it looks finally. The tall weeds have been bugging me for ages, but finally being able to do something with them. But, yeah, so improvements are being made, at least, despite the challenging year. That's the main thing. So, yeah, we've left the weeds and grasses just to grow on their own down here, just to cover the soil. Previous owner used to spray this all with heavy chemical use, Roundup and pre-emergence, and yeah, the soil was pretty sick, so it's good to see the vegetation returning to it. Long-term goal is going to be to try and seed out some foragers or something along those lines out here, so we can harvest a little bit of feed for the sheep or something, and you know, maybe the horses, renter horses, get a little feed. Because yeah, years like this, it's just not enough pasture for them out there. You know, there's areas where pasture only grew 2 or 3 inches in total before grazing it, and of course after grazing it there's nothing left. But yeah, eventually, once we get this laid out along with the new, or laid out same way as the new stuff there, it'll all be irrigated, so we'll see some good growth. But let's take a look at the new stuff now. So here we are in the new spaded tree field. See, the new stuff's doing pretty good considering. We have our drip lines along the bottom of them here, so you can see the grass is doing really well. Would have been some great feed for the horses this year if we could have harvested for them. Up the middle here, it's been cut twice already. A couple of areas could almost use a third cut, but yeah, if we could figure out how to harvest this for feed, we'd be off to the races. I mean, it's growing so well along here where it's irrigated. That's the thing with the land out here. It grows good where it's wet, but when it's not wet, it can be pretty sad growth. You know, our blue spruce here, they're doing pretty good for the most part. As you can see, we had the weed whipper around them here, but could almost use a second pass. It's growing so well, the grass there. But, looking out to the pasture here where it's not irrigated, you can see it's a lot more brown and not doing as well. And places like over here, you can see there's no growth whatsoever. And this is pasture that hasn't been grazed at all this year, and you can see there's nothing now. So ground's in sick state in a few places, just because of the lack of moisture. But looking to where it is irrigated here, see a huge difference. I mean, this was already cut once, cut it again quite easily. You know, some of our spruce are getting a little bit buried, so definitely need to get another cut in here. But yeah, you can just tell you the difference irrigation makes. So if we can find out a way to harvest this for feed, we'd be off to the races. I mean, eventually we'll have about 15 acres of trees in protection, so you know, to even get 6 or 7 acres of that in feed for animals would be great, especially with it being irrigated. But see what happens here, I guess. See what we can come up with, if we can figure out a way to collect it that's economical. I mean, a lot of the used equipment for smaller areas isn't ideal. It's all sickle bar mowers and really old balers that are small balers, which, I mean, small balers are good, just equipment's old, hard to work on. You know, and it's all offset, which is trouble too. you know, it'll be, you'll drive the tractor down and the mower, the baler will be hanging out the side of the tractor, so you need a lot wider area to work, and when you're driving up a row of trees like this, not a lot of space left, so I have to come up with something, but we'll see what we can come up with. Another thing that I've been working on a little bit is spreading a little mulch along here. The soil was so dry and dusty along here that needed a little bit of organic matter in it, so spread a little mulch. It's hard to get a good finish with the shredded mulches, but you know, it'll help the soil, that's the main thing, so just been working at kind of spreading that out a little bit more, and need to add a few more bits and places that didn't get as much, but looking a lot better than it was anyway, that's the main thing. So another little improvement that we've been working on, just trying to make things better on the farm here. Sprinklers came in today, got them all on. Seems to be working well so far. Quite like the sprinklers. The part that holds the rotor in spins on these ones, so that's excellent. That means you get even water distribution, whereas the old ones we used to use, they just have a fixed ring on them, so you always had to try and fight where that was going to make sure you got everything. But because this one spins, it has nice even distribution, so really pleased with that. Seems to have good coverage. I don't see any spots that it's missing right now. We're in a little bit of wind right now as well, which is a good time to test, because close wind can wreak havoc with where the water flows. But I'm not seeing any spots it's missing, and that's the big thing. So far so good. Onward and upward, I guess. Now all I'll have to do is the other side. Took 3 days to get this side together, so probably another 3 days for the other side, and off to the races. There we go, another day on the farm. So despite the challenging year, we've been making progress in several areas, which is still a good thing. So just trying to look forward to next year and you know, making next year a better year. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.